welcome to Monday's show. And I've decided that we are going to call this show Follow the Script because it's my weekly movie show. So, what do movies do? They, well, hopefully follow the script. If you watch behind the scenes stuff, do they really follow the script? Unless you're on Quentin Tarantino's set, you can improv. Because Quentin Tarantino's already done the improv for you. So, as you can see, the title is below you now. Follow the script. Captain America 2020. If you do not know what that means, no, sadly enough, Chris Evans is not going to try to become president in 2020. I know a lot of people would vote for him, but it was this. Marvel issued a cease and desist letter to this politician, and it is the most hilarious thing I have ever heard right now. They literally state, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but while Marvel appreciates your obvious affection for our property and welcome the fan support, we ask that our character not be used for political purposes to support a political campaign. Now, I know automatically that people would originally probably just go, oh, Marvel's kind of being an asshole, especially if you look at the picture, which, let's pull up the picture right now. I don't know if there was anything more. I didn't even go into this because I really don't care, but I thought this was funny. As you can completely see in this, it's him on Halloween, so he legitimately just dressed up like the character for Halloween. You can literally see there's a pumpkin there. There's a guy dressed up like something else. What the hell is he dressed up like that? I don't know. Actually, that's a girl. Sorry. I do apologize. That is a woman. But you can clearly tell that it's Halloween. But I guess from what I gathered, they just want to make sure, hey, don't use it for your political beliefs because that is our character, which is kind of understandable. But at the same time, it's still just that much funny of a story that you just have to go, wow. The fact that they have people combing the web like that, I mean, like I said, it makes sense because, again, Captain America is Captain America. He is not this party or that party. And if you start assigning him to it, then somehow it starts getting kind of shit on by Marvel. Now, moving on from this, we've got some really cool casting news. Now, if you don't know, we're about to have another Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson, the kid from Twilight. Now, go ahead and go look at some of his other stuff. He's actually a very serious actor and deserves to actually at least be looked at as that. But this movie has had some of the most amazing casting because I don't know if they fully cast him yet, but Matthew McConaughey as Two-Face, possibly. You have, wow, I'm blanking on all the names. Sorry, I just got off work and I'm doing the show as quick as possible. I ate, didn't even get to take a shower, and now I'm doing this. So you have Andy Serkis playing Alfred Pennyworth, which is going to be a very interesting one. I know they shit the bed with everything to do with Joker, including Alfred Pennyworth, who was just a little bitch. Pretty much like that entire movie. But you have Andy Serkis playing that. You have all these people, including, oh, that's right, Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. That, I can't wait to see it. Now, everybody kind of goes automatically because we always jump into this when you say, oh, we have so many villains. How's Batman going to do it? The thing of the matter is we also have a Selena Kyle. We have Two-Face. We have Penguin. We have just all these different people. But the thing of the matter is, yes, technically, when we do the casting, Selena Kyle is Catwoman. So they say Catwoman is cast. But does she have to actually play Catwoman? No, she could honestly just be in the movie as Selena Kyle. For those of you who don't know, in the Tim Burton Batman, guess what? Two-Face was cast the entire time, long before Tommy Lee Jones. We had the original Lando Calrissian playing him, which, again, I'm blanking on the names. Forgive me. I know who played him, though. But he was originally Harvey Dent. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch that footage, and you'll see on the TV screen itself, it says Harvey Dent, and you see Billy D. Williams, right? That's the name. Yeah, Billy D. Williams playing Harvey Dent. So he played Two-Face. So just because we have Penguin, Two-Face, Catwoman, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, does not mean that any of these villains are the main villain in the movie. Harvey Dent had a life before Two-Face. Selena Kyle had a life before Catwoman. Sort of. She was always kind of Catwoman, but before she was on Batman's radar. So we have all these characters. Does not mean that all of them are going to be facing up against the Batman. Hell, all the casting that we have right now, none of them could face the Batman. We could have a freaking Clayface out of nowhere. In fact, Clayface might just be all these people and you don't even know it. So it's going to be interesting, but the fact that it's such a star-studded cast, which again, now John Turtorro, which most people nowadays will know this guy from the Transformers movies. He was also in so many different things. I mean, you got him as Jesus in The Big Lebowski. And I actually watched something on him the other day, and he was starting to talk about all of his different roles. And I mean, he is such a serious actor. And if you look at just this picture, you look just at this picture right here, you see how serious he is. And it's just, he's portraying so much in just his face. I mean, he's a great actor. He really is. I mean, I think the first time I saw him was in the Adam Sandler's Mr. Deeds movie, Sneaky Sneaky. But this guy is one of those actors that can do stuff just with facial expressions. And right there, he looks like he's about to beat somebody's ass. So it's like, for him to be playing Falcone, which is a crime boss in the Batman lore. This is the guy before the supervillains. This is the guy that took Gotham's underbelly, the criminal unit of Gotham, and it's fucking his. And if you go into the animated series, even with Joker, Two-Face, Riddler, all these different people, Falcone still has power as just a mobster. Now, this actually, to me, speaks volumes to where they might go. Because ultimately, yes, we just talked about all these villains. This might be the guy that Batman is actually going after in this movie. Because this could be a very unique thing to do. Yeah, you got all these people here. The Falcone is, or Falcone, depending on how you want to say it. I actually was just reading a show or watching a show where they were literally talking about that. But Falcone, which is what I've always been introduced to him as, he still has power. And Batman itself, Batman is a human being. He is always designed to be the peak of human perfection, but he's still a human being. And the thing of the matter is, he can't always take the criminals and just, hey, they did this, this, and this. There's always still due process. Now we're talking about the detective. So in Falcone's case, Falcone is not an idiot. Falcone is not going to fight the Batman. He's not going to go right after him. He's going to be doing stuff on the down low because he wants his crime family to stay out of jail. So this could be honestly the villain of this Matt Reeves Batman, and Batman has to literally find the evidence to figure out who's doing it, what they're doing, all this kind of stuff. So I think this is actually a great casting, and we could actually see some more fun stuff. We are getting told that this is going to be, you know, the world's greatest detective, which is what Batman is. Batman is always billed as the world's greatest detective. One of the things that I did not like about the Batman Begins, and it's not so much that I didn't like Batman Begins. I absolutely loved Batman Begins. And of course, I love The Dark Knight. It still holds the record for as many times as I went to see it in the theater. I went to see it 10 times. Now, most people will be like, oh, I went to see something 15 times, 20 times. It doesn't matter. I didn't have money at the time, and I was still going 10 times to see The Dark Knight. And when it was re-released, I went and saw it in IMAX. That was my first IMAX showing, and I've never looked back. So it's like, The Dark Knight was such a good movie. Batman itself, I grew up. There was 3 cartoons that I grew up with, and these are my end-all, be-all, and I don't care how bad the movies are. I don't care how bad acted it is, and I don't care what's going on. I will always see these in theaters, and that is Batman, Ninja Turtles, and the X-Men. Those are my 3. And in the 90s, those animated features were like the highlight, other than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which was freaking amazing as well. But that was live action. We got cartoons here. So I will always go see these movies in theaters. But this one might just be a very different type. Now, Robert Pattinson, if everybody kind of knows his body dimensions, he's a little bit thinner. So, yes, I do want him to bulk up a little bit, but I kind of hope that they keep him a little bit thinner than what Ben Affleck, because Ben Affleck, I mean, he was jacked as the Batman. And honestly, I still want him back. Ben, come back, man. You were awesome. And I really want to see your script, man. I have that one interview that I watched, that the guy that did The Dark Knight Returns, the animated feature, he's also done all the storyboards for every DC comic for the last like 30 years. And he said he was so excited. He read it. It was the best Batman script he's ever written or ever read. And he went to work real quick for WB to just say, "You got 2 Oscars on your mantle, huh? Oh, well." And then we never get to see a Batman. So I am very excited about this, going back to it. But like I said, this could be it. And I kind of, the more I'm talking about this, because pretty much all of this is in my head right now, I'm just letting it spew out. I actually would love that. Could you imagine a Batman movie where he doesn't face down the Riddler, doesn't face down Two-Face, doesn't face down Bane, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Joker, all these different characters? What if he just faced down Falcone? That would be so fucking cool. By the way, back to my original thought, why I brought up Batman the Animated Series, and this is why I did not like the Batman Begins version of Ra's al Ghul and their relationship, is because he never called him detective. And I always loved that. In everything that I've ever seen, Ra's al Ghul never calls him Batman and never refers to him as Bruce Wayne, even though he is one of the only villains that knows who the Batman is. But he always calls him detective because that is his monarch. That is who he is. Also, Ra's al Ghul does not want to kill the Batman. He will fight him to the death if that's what it takes, but he wants Batman to replace him. That was always such a cool fucking thing. And like I actually like the Dark Knight Rises too, but Talia was, first of all, you saw it coming a mile away if you know anything about Talia al Ghul. First of all, going in there trying to say, "Oh, Bane is the son of Ra's al Ghul." No, he has 2 daughters. Oh, there's a Middle Eastern. I don't know what ethnicity she is, so if she is not Middle Eastern, I do apologize. But you got that girl. Obviously, that's her. Um, so I saw it coming a mile away. I'm just saying. I did that with the Joker movie too. I knew how it was going to end, and it was so fucking stupid. Anyway, I'm really hoping this, and I'm psyching myself out. This would be really cool. I would love to see a Batman. First of all, we're getting the world's greatest detective, so to have him go against just a straight up mob boss, that would actually be a really, really fucking cool thing. That would be something that we have not seen, and it would be something to ground this Batman even more than Christopher Nolan's Batmans, who had him going against Ra's al Ghul, who's supposedly supernatural, but in that movie it was just, Ra's al Ghul was just very weird in that movie, truthfully. And then he comes back in Bruce's mind and all that. Again, I kind of wish we would have gotten to see what Nolan's real third movie was going to look like, because Joker was supposed to come back, Two-Face was supposed to actually be the villain in that, and so much more. So anyway, but this casting and this entire movie, this is probably the most star-studded casting for a single comic book character that you have ever seen, because we cannot go with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is fucking 23 movies in total, which, if you don't know, the 23rd movie is Spider-Man Far From Home. That's how it ends the thing. Endgame is actually not the end of that phase of Marvel, which is really funny. But it's actually, that is important to see the aftermath. So anyway, John Turturro, great casting. This movie is really shaping up. It is supposed to be the Long Halloween, which I need to probably need to go get that book or something. I don't know a lot about it, but it's going to be something very interesting if it's based on the Long Halloween, which is one of the like top 5 Batman story arcs that people talk about all the time. So it's gonna be it's so far it's really looking Matt Reeves is an amazing filmmaker. He's got a star-studded cast and he's taking it very seriously, which is what we want from our creators of these movies. We want them to take these properties very seriously for and especially when it goes to DC because DC you're dropping the fucking ball. Know what you got. You don't seem to know what you got. You have the holy fucking trinity of movie or of comic book characters. You have Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman. Anybody says all time top four, let's say the Mount Rushmore that everybody puts over there, the Mount Rushmore of comic book characters, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are three of the four heads that go on there. Then, depending on who you ask, originally the fourth head I would say would be Spider-Man because it's probably the most um, universally liked character because Spider-Man was just he was an everyday guy with superhuman powers. But nowadays, you might say Captain America, or because of the movies and everything, you would probably say Iron Man. I think Iron Man has probably now cemented himself on that Mount Rushmore. But if you go back in the day and everything, it would probably be Spider-Man. If you go all time, I would say Spider-Man is probably the fourth person. But you got the Holy Trinity, DC, the Holy Trinity. Then you also have three actors that are doing freaking amazing for you. Henry Cavill is such a good, grounded Superman. He's not too bulky. He's believe that this guy is an average Joe from Kansas, honestly, because that's the way he was raised. But he's just got something there. He's got an inner strength. So So that was great. My computer decided to restart during my little DC movie tirade, so it looks like we're back on. So, anyway, we're going to move on from that. Now, I was going to show some memes, but because my computer restarted and I wanted to get back on quick, I'm not going to show any Star Wars memes. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesday's show because I don't really have anything to show that. So maybe we'll just do some like the funny shit that I've seen all week. But anyway, going back on my point, like I just want DC to honestly just give us what you have. Like what DC has is just so beautiful. And I know I'm wearing Marvel, I'm wearing Deadpool right now, and I'm talking DC. But like I'm literally a fan of everything to do with comic books. And I just want a good fucking movie. And I want filmmakers that want to show us this. I want actors that want to play these roles. I'm not saying Robert Pattinson doesn't. From everything that I've read, he wants to play it. But you also took a guy like Ben Affleck who has a fucking Batcave in his house, who loves this character so much, and you basically destroyed his interest in playing Batman. Are you That just blows my mind because anything you can make me freaking Calendar Man. I don't care. I'll play it. Bring it on. Calendar Man. Let's go. And I'll do it. So to do that, it's so sad. But anyway, DC, figure out what the hell's going on. Now, today is November 25th, 2019, which means we are less than a month away from episode 9. So this is how we were going to finish off the show, because I was going to show some memes, some really fun ones where they've now, instead of taking the gremlin from Gremlins 2 with the hair, the female gremlin, and Yoda saying, young I was, money I needed, and all that, now it's saying, she told me the condom was good and it broke, all that kind of stuff. But it was really funny. And then you had the Macho Mandalorian, and I love that. I sent it to my buddy Adam, which we're both big wrestling fans. So I was going to show that. But last night I decided, because I was like, wait a minute, with this coming soon, I definitely got to watch Last Jedi again, which I remember in theaters, it wasn't one of my favorites. And then when I got it on Blu-ray, and I, of course, put the digital copy in and I watched the digital copy, I remember like it was such a struggle to get through. It ended up taking me 3 days to watch it. Now, last night I did my typical thing. I'm playing a video game while watching it, which I'm playing Mad Max, which if you have not played that game, it's actually a really fun game. Has so many glitches. I wish they would have, taken a little bit more time, but they had to release it. But so I was doing all that, but I was rewatching it and I was enjoying it again. And I think it's just one of those movies that maybe the more you watch it, the more you enjoy it. Now, there's certain things that are still stupid. Like, truthfully, Luke could have done anything else, but to literally take the lightsaber and go, that was just too far. I think that was the stupidest thing for Rian Johnson to do. That's who directed it, right? Rian Johnson? Yeah. Sorry. I just got off of work, and I'm doing this and trying to remember everything that I wanted to talk about. So the thing in the matter is, that was probably just the stupidest thing. It was him trying to kind of say, we're going in a new direction. He was trying to hit the ground running, and it didn't land, and it didn't make sense, because if you watch that end scene in The Force Awakens, you see Luke. First of all, you see Mark Hamill probably doing some of the best acting he's done in a long time in just the facial features. And then you get to the movie, and really? Like, you wanted to bring acting, then freaking bring acting. This is bothering the shit out of me. Sorry, I have my hair like done a different way, and it's bugging the crap out of me. It's touching my neck. It's weird. Anyway, so but rewatching it, there was of course stuff that still don't make sense, really. And it's like I feel like some of it you have to go into. You probably have to read the books, which if you listen to Disney, you're going to have to watch all the stuff coming to Disney Plus in order to continue with Marvel, continue with Lucasfilms, continue with all this, which I don't know if they're just saying that to try to get you to buy shit, because ultimately, at the end of the day, that is the stupidest thing. You do stuff so that people kind of get, oh, I read this comic. I know this little tidbit over here. Woohoo! But you don't sit there and go, oh, well, you have to read this comic. If you do not read this comic, you do not know where this movie's going, because obviously you're a freaking moron. You need to read this comic. You also need to watch this show. You need to buy this toy specifically. This toy. Otherwise, you do not know what's going on. Like, seriously. I get it. You're a multimedia company, but you got to make sure that you realize Star Wars, Marvel movies are not just for the hardcore fan base. The hardcore fan base is not what made Endgame the highest, and remember this, the highest grossing movie of all time. And I guarantee you 50% of the people going there had no fucking clue who that damn raccoon was. I'm just saying. The thing of the matter is, you got to still realize that, yes, for the hardcore movie fan, for the hardcore comic fan, for the person that's going to sit there and go through stacks and stacks of articles, stacks and stacks of stories, going to watch everything, do everything, all this kind of stuff, yes, put in some moments for them. But for the people that didn't do that, just make those moments fun. You have a little bit more of an understanding, but don't make it so that you have no choice. You're going to be so beyond lost if you didn't watch this TV show, read this comic. Did you read this comic from 10 years ago? We brought in a character from that comic, and it only makes sense why they're there because of that comic. And then we're going to go over here and this toy sale. Why does that lightsaber all of a sudden bend like that? Oh, if you read this comic, you understand why. Again, it's something that you really should not do. You got to go for the casual fan. And then, like I said, just put these tidbits. We like Easter eggs. We have, hell, look at YouTube. The entirety of YouTube has videos upon videos about, did you catch this Easter egg? Did you catch this Easter egg? Did you catch this Easter egg? By the way, because I'm talking about that, and I got it right here, this movie right here, there's an Easter egg that nobody is freaking talking about, and I am finally going to talk about it because that's what I want to do. In that movie, when you have Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson, they're sitting there bitching and complaining at each other because they do that the entire movie. Watch the background. There is one actor or side actor or whatever you want to call them, grip, just somebody walking through the back. And normally, if you're not supposed to focus on the back, it doesn't come in completely focused so that you focus on the characters that you want. But in the background, in one scene, there is a guy dressed like Logan. There is a guy with a Wolverine jacket on. And I remember I was sitting next to my buddy Adam in the theater, and all of a sudden I go, dude, that's Wolverine's jacket. It was the jacket that Hugh Jackman wore in all of the original X-Men films. And you know, because it is a movie starring Ryan fucking Reynolds, that you know he did that. You know he did that shit, and not one person. I've looked up everything. I bought this, and I immediately put on the freaking commentary, which actually has Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds does not speak of this. I'm like, you are an asshole, Ryan Reynolds. I fucking wanted to hear what you had to say about that. I wanted it so bad, and you never said it. And I know for a fact I've watched that movie like 5 times. That is clearly the Hugh Jackman X-Men jacket. He is wearing it. You did it, Ryan Reynolds, and nobody's talking about it. So anyway, back to what we want to do. We like Easter eggs. So for me, like someone that actually not in the Star Wars universe, but in Marvel, because I'm more of a Marvel and comic book guy, Star Wars is great. I love Star Wars, but I'm not the hardcore fan base. I will never claim to be. I'm just a fan of Star Wars. I mean, I'm also a fan of freaking samurais, and that's what it is. Seven Samurai, all that kind of stuff. Look into the history of it, sword fighting. So, starting to lose my breath, man. Anyway, so I am definitely a fan of it. So you've got to put stuff in there for us, but if you want to make the money, you got to go for the casual people, and you got to tell the story that they're seeing on screen, not a story that continued over here and then brought back in this movie. And then if you bought this toy, if you read this comic, if you watched this TV show, what are we, the fucking Power Rangers? Anyway, so you got to do that now. But that being said, I am unbelievably excited. I actually got to talk to my friends because I want to do a Christmas screening, like after we've done all of our Christmas shopping, or Christmas shopping. Yeah, we're gonna shop on Christmas. Now, after we open all of our gifts, we just head to the movie theater and we watch Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. But in it, I actually found it funny because we say that Rey discovered that she is a nobody. Actually, rewatching it, she didn't discover shit. Yeah, we have that whole like tunnel thing, but ultimately we got told that by Kylo Ren. He literally goes, "I saw into your past. I know who your parents are," and then he literally goes, "They were nobodies." Yeah, this guy's trying to turn you to the dark side. And you're going to believe 100% what he has to say. The fact of the matter is, now, truthfully, they don't have to do much to honestly turn that around because it's like, damn, he actually knows who her parents are. But then again, he also could be lying too. But since she saw into his future, him seeing into her past would kind of make a lot more sense. I still want to know who the fuck Snoke is. Like he went out like a bitch. We've seen so many characters like get shot and freaking like arms and limbs cut off, and then this guy gets stabbed, and instead of like using his last bit of energy to do something, he instead just goes, well, shit, and then falls to the floor. And then they had like a lot of comedy with his dead corpse, which I didn't really like all that much. But I did love the constant, oh, this person's doing this something, not knowing that this person's there. Oh, they're passing them, but they don't know it. They're on the same ship, but they're going this way, they're going that way. Um, so yeah, I still say the most out of place thing was the Leia, the Mary Poppins Leia, which makes no sense. I did like that. The more I watched it, I kind of wanted to see a little bit from Kylo Ren because, of course, if you remember the scene, he has his finger on the button to shoot his mother, and then he literally doesn't just not do it and somebody comes in and blasts. He actually takes his thumb away, like he was not going to kill her. And you got that moment where both of them were probably communicating. So his mom is definitely a catalyst for him. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what they do with him. I also like the fact that Rey tried to do this, but then ended up failing because she was like, "Why did you hate your dad?" And he goes, "I didn't hate my dad." And I was like, "Huh?" So that's another reason why I kind of want to watch it again because he actually admits in there, he goes, he didn't kill him, or he didn't like immediately go, "Oh, I hate you, I want to kill you." So there was more, there was a deeper meaning there to why he ultimately ignited the lightsaber. And again, if people don't realize this, he held freaking Han Solo, he got handed the lightsaber like this. So if this is where the sword comes out, actually, technically, because Kylo Ren handed it this way. So do you not get that he felt Kylo turning the fucking lightsaber? Anyway, I love that's my lightsaber. I have like a sword up here I could do it with, but no, that's my lightsaber. I could have also took my brush. I don't care. Like fucking hell, let's do it all. I can take my phone, lightsaber on the phone, bitches. Anyway, I'm crazy at night sometimes. I don't get why nobody really talks about that either. And then when you bring it up to people, like, no, 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 it's like, okay, let actually let me grab the sword because let's be very clear about this. This is not a lightsaber. And if you handed somebody this and they were basically holding it like this, you could tell that it was being turned and slicing through someone. But That's exactly what happened. Kylo still had his hand on the lightsaber. Han grabs the lightsaber, and look, you're telling me that Han Solo did not notice that a lightsaber got pointed towards him before igniting and going through him. Anyway, that's my little trick for today. You still don't get the turn. Whatever. And yet, I'm not the hardcore fan, and I've gotten into arguments about hardcore fans that Han Solo did not know the lightsaber was turning towards him. Okay, you just made one of your favorite characters, the one that you're so pissed off died. You're making him a fucking idiot. But go figure. But it was really cool to see that Ben said he didn't hate Han. And I feel like they needed more than 3 movies, honestly, to go over the Ben Solo thing. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this all ends. Anyway, because I don't have the memes up, I'm kind of probably going to stop this now. Again, this is going to be my Monday shows. It is going to be called Follow the Script. And then I'm going to put the clickbait material, which Captain America 2020, and we did go over that. It was a politician dressed like Captain America, and Disney sent a cease and desist letter. So therefore, yes, politician. Not clickbait. Anyway, so I don't know what my subjects for these shows are going to be because, of course, if it's fun stuff that comes out or if I see a movie or anything like that, I definitely, now that I've got a job, I made a little bit of money tonight, worked 4 hours because I'm not on schedule, so I'm just picking up shifts now. But it was really fun because there were cops at my place. I will probably talk that on What the Friday because that is my talk show where I'm just going to talk about my life, talk about anything in general that comes to mind. But I will tell you about my first week there. Tomorrow's show is wrestling. We just had a pay-per-view called Survivor Series. Do we know who survived? Yeah, it was last night. But there was some really cool stuff, so I cannot wait to see you tomorrow for Breaking Kayfabe. Wednesday, like I said, I'm not going to do anything. Right now, I don't have a set thing. So ultimately, I'll probably just do some funny videos or stuff. We'll go through it and have some fun. Probably a more laid back show, kind of like what the Fridays is going to be. And then Thursday, we're going to do my collections, which I'm going to do my Marvel collection, which is going to be really fun. Got some stuff there. I'm probably, even though I already took it down, I'm probably, or already showed, I'm probably going to show some of my collection that you've already seen. But mainly, I'm going to show you what's over there, which is my Marvel Cinematic little area. And I'm going to get a couple different things down. Probably that's what it's going to be. Easily going to be the movies, so that's going to be fun. But then I'll show you some pop vinyl, show you some artwork, show you different things. Probably wear a Marvel shirt. I'm wearing a Deadpool thing today, even though I talked no Deadpool. I didn't think that one through, okay, but I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt, and I And here we go again. And of course, at the very end, yeah, I picked this up because I was bored. At the very end. So, anyway, like I said, I'm going to end this early. Be sure to catch my show tomorrow, Breaking KFAB. Let's hope the computer does not decide to restart, freeze, or in any other way fuck with me tomorrow. But we are going to be talking about Survivor Series Fallout. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that went down on Monday Night Raw tonight. And just, of course, that would happen. Overall, bullshit with wrestling, because there's some really cool stuff that went down on Survivor Series, and we are going to be talking about them on Wednesday. I don't know what I'm going to do, so yes, I picked this up again because I'm a fucking idiot. But Wednesday, again, I don't have a scheduled show that I'm going to do, but we're going to have some fun there. Maybe watch some stupid videos, look at some stupid memes, because I didn't get a chance to do them tonight because of all my computer problems, which again, this, I don't even know what happened, because it happens every now and then I'll go months with no issues whatsoever. I'm actually like in the process of taking photos that I've taken with my camera, photos that I've taken with my phone that I've saved onto the computer. I'm now putting towards an external hard drive, and for some reason that's what ended up messing with it, and that's why I've been having so many problems with it. I have no idea why that is, but whatever. So yeah, so that'll be Wednesday show. Thursday, we are doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm showing you a collection based upon that, because I now have that over here. So we are going to be looking at artwork. We are going to be looking at the movies. We are going to be looking at pop vinyls. We are going to be looking at whatever I can find. Probably some t-shirts. I've got some Marvel t-shirts. I got a really cool one. So actually, that's definitely what we're going to be doing. And then, of course, we have What the Fridays, which, by the way, the collection show is called Collection Addiction. And tomorrow is Breaking KFAB. KFAB is a wrestling term. Maybe we'll talk about that on What the Fridays. And then What the Fridays will be whatever I want to talk about. We'll talk about my new job. We'll talk about Black Friday, because Black Friday will be happening on Friday. This Friday, which is actually Thursday, and it's Thanksgiving, and we're going to be doing Marvel on Thanksgiving, and it's going to be really fun. Anyway, so before I drop this again and break something, I'm going to say goodbye. Now, I have to end the show. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, call me an idiot in the comments, because I just like knocked over a soda and I got to clean that up now. But be sure to tell me whatever you want to talk about in movies. If you didn't like anything that I talked about today, great, tell me in the comments. If you would still like to help my daughter, help myself, help everything, maybe help the show, because obviously my computer's a piece of shit. Actually, it's broken. But you can do that. I have links out the ass in the description. I have a link to help my daughter become a black belt in karate, because that is coming up soon. I have a link to help me get my own franchise. That is hopefully coming soon. We'll see what I can do in the next year and a half, 2 years. Now that I've got a job, now I'm on the ball, and I'm going to be doing whatever I can to make that dream a reality. And it starts with this show. I'm really bored now. Anyway, sorry. This is what I do when I can't think. But then you have a link to help my show. You have an Amazon wish list. On that wish list, you have on the other side my help me with my collection as I drop it again. I'm not going to pick it up this time, mainly because it's on the floor and I can't just kick it up. So if you'd like to help me with my collection, go to my Amazon wish list for this show, and on the left-hand side of your screen, there will be a link to my actual gift list, which is gifts that I would love to have for this, for that, for this, for everything going on around here. Because again, this is my head. It's chaotic, it's crazy, and if you ever get lost in my head, there is no map, and you will be lost forever. So I will see you tomorrow for Breaking KFAB, where we talk everything to do with whatever the fuck I want to talk about, because it's my damn show. And we talk wrestling, and we talk my favorite wrestlers, and we talk about what's going on in wrestling. Do we have any news? No, but we're going to have some fun. So, Breaking KFAB tomorrow night with me. And I will see you tomorrow.